Hello, I'm Jim Eldon, and we are here pleased to be asked back again to play for the Morpeth Gathering, this being Morpeth Gathering 2024.
Now, tell me a little bit about your act, your performance, and also your puppet pal.
Most of what we're doing here is with my little puppet Gerald, and because a lot of what we're doing is street entertainment here, so we're doing street entertainment on the marketplace. We were going to be doing some down Sanderson's arcade, but they haven't worked out how to turn off the piped music, so we came back to the square and we've managed to fit in again here. And then I'm doing a bit at an old folks home this afternoon, and Mossy's doing some, my pal Mossy who's here about to give you a bit of lowdown on his own activities. He's doing some longsword, teaching longsword dance, because I play for longsword as well. I play for longsword down at Flamborough and also across Gothland. I play for the Gothland Plougstocks as well. So that's my longsword connection.
And how long have the two of you been doing this particular act together with the puppet?
Well, I first run into Moss when he was about 12, 13 years old, and that was at an event at Lincoln. I think he remembers running into me somewhere different, but that's what I remember as us first getting together. And he was doing part of the foyer show at, it was either Lincoln or Retford. It was somewhere, and I was doing part of the foyer show, and then we hit it off as musical friends, you might say, and because we were on a level footing at that point, because we were both booked to do the same job, we started into playing together on a level footing as well. With although Moss was a lot younger than me at the time, he's got old now, but when he was a lot younger than me, there was a kind of an expectation amongst some people that it might be a sort of a master and apprentice relationship, but it was different from that because we started up as playing as two equal partners in our duo.
And tell us about Gerald. How did he come about?
Well, Gerald, I used to work on the pleasure boats out of Bridlington, and our shoreman, that's the man who pulls the gangways off the boats, our shoreman, the late Gary Day, he had been to Paris and he'd seen somebody busking with a puppet, a fiddle puppet, and so Gary told me he'd seen this chap busking with a puppet that hung on his arm and played his fiddle whilst the chap played. He didn't tell me anything about how it worked. I don't know whether he was anything like Gerald is now, but years later when I had to do a job for Mike Harding, the music presenter, and he wanted me busking on the streets of York for a particular show that he was doing, and so that's when I made Gerald. I thought, oh, I'll see if I can do something like Gary told me about all those years ago, and that's how Gerald sprang into existence.
And is there any chance that he upstages you in the act?
It's my pleasure when he upstages me, because it means attention goes away from my playing and focuses on him, and that loosens it off for me. So it's like playing in an ensemble even when I'm busking with him alone.
And Mossy, tell us what's it like working with these two people, and which one's the most wooden?
It's always been a pleasure to work with Jim. It's developed into far more than the musical partnership that it started out as. So I'm very pleased to be up here performing with Jim. We do a few festivals over the summer normally, and we go around to each other's houses and spend the afternoon playing some fiddle tunes, and it's a very pleasurable experience.
And tell us a little bit about your longsword workshops that you're doing.
Yeah, so later today I'll be running a longsword workshop in the town hall behind us, and that is a form of traditional dance from Yorkshire, County Durham, and down into Lincolnshire as well. And that is a dance where people dance with 3-foot long wooden or metal swords, and they stand in a circle and they make lots of different patterns by weaving in and out of each other, and at the end they weave them all together into a star, and the lead dancer holds it up. So I go around the country teaching that at festivals and to children in primary schools as well, so I'm very pleased to be giving a public workshop here later today.
Now you obviously both travel a bit and see a few different festivals around the country. How do you rate the Morpeth Gathering amongst all those places?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's really nice to have an event like this that really cherishes the local traditions. It's a wonderful thing, and I hope it continues for many years to come.
Yes, my wife Lynette, who comes here, she used to judge the clog dancing competitions when there were enough people to be entering the competitions. This year she's teaching some clog, or doing a talk about clog with her friend Sue Jenkinson. But Lynette likes it here, she's always liked it here, because as Mossy's just been saying, Lynette says it's a community event. Absolutely. Rather than a folk, sort of the folk in crowd, you might say, event. And so it's very much a local community event.